coats of birch as the base from the bottom up to right here, and then covered the birch with 2 coats of cordovan. And from there up to the rim, I did 3 coats of sangria from Spectrum, and I covered the sangria with 1 coat of pearl white. 3 coats of honey flux as the liner for the inside. Problem with this is the way how you glaze. I guess I glaze it very thickly, and you can see it's almost going to the bottom. Well, out of 6 of this combination, 4 of them has a very thick glaze. And look at the result. Need to grind those and see if the mug can be saved. Yeah, here's more to that. Another version for the birch and cordovan combination. So instead of the pink one, I did a blue version. So this time, 3 coats of honey flux up to here on the outside. And then I covered 3 coats of blue rutile, the honey flux. So on top of the honey flux is 3 coats of blue rutile. And my usual 2 coats of birch and then 2 coats of cordovan at the bottom. So there's that. I don't know which one. So I kind of like have the pink version, blue version. And I think I'm gonna do a purple version by doing the floating lavender and honey flux on top of it. One of my very old combination that I love to do, 3 coats of honey flux inside and outside. And then just below that rim, I did 3 coats of ancient jasper, just like a tiny band of ancient jasper. And below that, I did 3 coats of textured turquoise. Again, just probably an inch of the textured turquoise, and you can see how it ran almost to the bottom of the mug. My favorite part on this combination is always the handle. Again, just be very careful if you're going to do this combination because they run a lot and you can end up with this. So another version of that is I also do the Celadon bloom like at the base. So 3 coats of Celadon bloom. I usually do 2 if it's a Mayco, but this time I experimented on 3 coats because I know that Celadon bloom is a very solid glaze that it doesn't run. So I did that, 3 coats up to half, and then from there up to the inside of the mug is 3 coats of honey flux, and I did the same thing. 3 coats of ancient jasper, just a tiny band, and below that is 3 coats of textured turquoise. I don't know which one is better, with the Celadon bloom or just plain honey flux. So the inside is 4 coats of Blue Lagoon from Amaco up to the outside, but like 1/4, just here from the bottom. And then from the Blue Lagoon up to the rim, I did 3 coats of Sky, Celadon Sky from Amaco. And then alternatingly, just very thin stripes, Emerald Falls and Blue Lagoon. It just reminds me of the ocean. When I was naming my mugs before, I used to call this as Ocean Wave. I don't know, it just reminds me of the ocean. So I did 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6 of this combination. So on the inside, that is Sapphire Float, 3 coats. And for the outside, I did 2 coats of Blue Opal from Mayco, and then 2 coats of Night Moth on the outside, covering the Blue Opal. Again, don't put it so thick, otherwise you're gonna have this. So 3 of those, and as I've said, all of them has the thick glaze at the bottom. Three coats of iron luster, inside and outside, and then 3 coats of oatmeal on the top, covering the iron luster. This is still my all-time favorite. So this is just obsidian, 2 coats of obsidian from the rim up to there, and at the bottom I did a 3rd coat of obsidian so that I will have a very nice thick coverage for the black portion, and while the rest is just 2 coats. From the rim, covering the 2 coats of obsidian, I did 3 coats of smoky merlot, 4 coats of seaweed, and then 3 coats of indigo float. So if you refire this combination, it even gets better. This is the refired version of this combination. Like the color, the blue and the green is just so vivid compared it to this. And the last combination in this kiln firing is something that I might just have to discontinue. I did 10 combinations or 10 mugs on this combination, and I think I ruined them all. Liner, just plain coats, so 3 coats of honey flux, 2 coats of Cenote, and from the rim I did just 1 band, 1 coat of light flux, and then just another band of dark flux. So combining light flux and dark flux, but they are just tiny bands. And then I put some like alternatingly on the top. Anyway, the light flux and the dark flux is just too much. I did this so many times and I was able to control my glazing, and I don't get this. But for some reason, for my last glazing, this is the first combination that I did, and I guess I got carried away and put a very thick coat. Oh, you know what? I did 3 coats of Cenote instead of 2. And then, I guess combining the fluxes on top just made it run so bad. So I don't know if any of this gonna be saved, but otherwise this is a combination that I might just stop doing. So anyway, I did 10 mugs on that combination, and every one of them melted, or I mean had a very thick glaze at the bottom. That's it for this kiln opening video, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.